Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. DPP votes against charges in Floyd Green case. The Director of Public Prosecutions, DPP, has ruled that no charges should be laid against former Agriculture Minister Floyd Green for alleged breaches of the Disaster Risk Management Act in September last year. She has also ruled that no charges should be laid against the other partygoers, including his advisor Gabriel Hilton, Councillor Andrew Bellamy and Dave Powell, and employee of the National Solid Waste Management Authority. The ruling was handed down on Friday, following months of deliberations by the country's chief prosecutor, Paul Llewellyn. Head of Crime, Deputy Commissioner Fitz-Bailey, told reporters that the DPP ruled that based on the evidence gathered in the investigation, there is no legal basis to lay charges against Mr. Green and the other persons. CTalk had written to the director late last year for a legal opinion on whether Mr. Green violated the Disaster Risk Management Act by attending a party at a New Kingston-based hotel on a no-movement day last year. Mr. Green resigned his post following public uproar over a video which showed persons at the party marking the no-movement day introduced by the government to curtail the spread of the coronavirus. Mr. Green, who has apologized for his actions, was recently reappointed to the cabinet by Prime Minister Andrew Holness as Minister without portfolio in the office of the Prime Minister. Wanted man killed by police in Thornton, St. Elizabeth. A man wanted by the police was killed Saturday morning by members of the security forces in Thornton, St. Elizabeth. The man, who was wanted by the Clarendon police, was shot dead, reportedly during a shootout about 5 a.m. He was reportedly living in the community for more than 2 years and was known to residents as Blacks. A firearm was reportedly seized. Driver jumps from out-of-control truck on Spurtree Hill hospitalized. Police say a man has been hospitalized after the vehicle he was driving plunged over a precipice on the Crosspoint Spurtree Hill Main Road in Manchester on Friday. Reports are that shortly after 4 p.m., the man was driving a truck downhill when he lost control of the unit. It is reported that he jumped from the truck before it plunged over the precipice. The latest incident follows Wednesday's crash involving a tractor-trailer and a motor car on the major thoroughfare that links Mandeville and its environs to St. Elizabeth and Point West. Marco alumna honors 99-year-old member at 100th anniversary service. The Marco University College Alumni Association, MOSA, Sunday honored 99-year-old member Roxy Stevenson at its 100th anniversary service. Stevenson, a dedicated teacher for most of her life, spent the last 15 years of her career as principal at North Street Primary School in Kingston. Currently residing in St. Thomas and dubbed the oldest living Micronian, Stevenson will be 100 years old come October. MOSA President Dr. Thomas congratulated Stevenson and presented her with a basket, compliments of Pioneers Manufacturing Distributors, owned by Micronian, and another sponsored by MOSA. Additionally, as part of Sunday's celebration, a time capsule was loaded with memorabilia donation from the different chapters locally and internationally. This set to be opened in 50 years. However, for MOSA, the celebration is a year-long one, as it will undertake various projects that will benefit the institution. Speaking with reporters on Sunday's launch of the 100th anniversary celebration, MOSA's public relations spokesman, Mr. DaCosta, said he hopes students understand the importance of giving back to the college. In a lifetime, not everyone gets to celebrate 100 years, and so we see this as an important factor in our own development and organization, said DaCosta, who noted that the college is one of 4 teaching colleges established in British colonies by the Lady Micro Charity in 1836. The Micro University College is the only one remaining, he said. DaCosta added that events throughout the year will include the MOSA Week starting February 13, MOSA's Evening of Musical Excellence on May 28, an International Education Symposium on August 11, and MOSA's Gold Medal Awards Banquet on October 26. We will continue with our scholarship programs, and we will continue with the development of smart classrooms. Even before we knew of the pandemic, We had started a smart classroom, said DaCosta. DaCosta added that the association will also assist in the development of the college track and field area. At the same time, immediate past president of MOSA, Dr. Henry, disclosed that the offices will also be refurbished. She said that for MOSA week, the Education Committee will be having a scholarship award ceremony. There's a big activity, which is the Thursday. The purpose of it is to bring Micronians from all over together and also to focus on student development. It is the panel discussion, and the theme for that is Life After Micro, and it really focuses on student development. For the panel discussions, we are going to have 4 persons, 2 from the diaspora and 2 locally. Henry continued, adding that they will also be launching 2 new association chapters, one in the United Kingdom and the other in the northeast section of Jamaica. Meanwhile, in his address at the launch of the 100th celebration, Meanwhile, in his address at the launch of the 100th celebration, Thomas said, "As I stand to launch the celebration of this body, we must recognize the outstanding work of our alma mater from humble beginning in 1836 to now a university college with institutional accreditation and graduating bachelor's and master's students in many disciplines." He added, "Micro University continues to inspire students, staff and teachers who want to learn, collaborate, and to serve to the best of their abilities." MOSA, since 1922, contributed well to the development of the Micro University College. Many of our past students have gone back to enhance teaching and learning at Micro, serving as principals, presidents, vice presidents, lecturers, heads of departments, and in other areas. Acknowledging the association will be awarding 25 scholarships to needy students, Thomas noted that they are intended to break ground this year to construct a multipurpose building. This building will be used for teaching and learning, especially a place where Micronians can come for all walks of life to relax and to refresh themselves. In 2021, during this pandemic period, we have given over 3 million in care packages, computers, tablets, and scholarships to needy students, he stated. Spine now hot business. Officials say clients near and far snoop on others regarding cheating, sincerity, mysterious deaths. The use of private investigators, PIs, has grown rapidly in recent times, and those who employ them are drawn from all walks of life, a general check by reporters has revealed. Among the clients or employers who want to know if their employees are really working from home amid the pandemic, as well as individuals locally and internationally who want to ensure their partners are being faithful. Trevor Valentine, director at Valiant Private Investigative Service Jamaica Limited, told reporters that many workers have been investigated by their bosses since the government issued a work-from-home order to curtail the spread of the coronavirus. When we have lockdowns, especially the very first lockdown, and people are working from home, a lot of companies call to check on their workers. Employers were saying they wanted to check on them to see if they were really at home because they should be working from home, but they suspect that they are elsewhere, Valentine revealed. "I get lots of calls. You will hear, my director is staying at home or my manager is staying at home, but I am not picking up that they are at home and all those things," he added, noting that he won't reveal the companies. "I love what I'm doing. I love investigation. I was a homicide detective. I don't like an easy case to deal with. I like a challenge, so I really like what I do." The director of another company, I360JA, who asked not to be named, said, "It is those places that employ mass employees or high-paid employees. I don't think that in between that would be feasible unless it's a one-man shop and the boss just disgusting. That's the only thing that can come to my mind from those cases." Both men refused to disclose service charges, saying it goes against their policy. The I360JA director explained, however, it really depends on what motivates them to get the information. Sometimes the expense to get the job done can be very large. The Private Security Regulations Authority, PSRA, an agency within the Ministry of National Security, charges a fee of $5,000 for registration of a private investigator, PI. The PSRA serves to monitor and regulate the operations of organizations and individuals operating in the private security industry and to facilitate a closer link between private security and state security in the interest of national well-being. These organizations include contract security organizations, proprietary security organizations, private security guards, private investigators, and security trainers. According to the PSRA, due to the rapid growth in the number of organizations and individuals operating in the private security industry, it became highly desirable that a system be introduced to subject those organizations and individuals to some form of regulation and monitoring, hence the passing of the Private Security Regulations Act in 1992. Valentine, the ex-policeman, reported that there have been cases in which both men and women who are overseas paid for their service to keep track of their partners in Jamaica. In some instances, he said, there were persons who were filing for partners they met online and wanted to make sure they weren't just being used for a green card. People do reach out for private investigator service, and you find it more than people overseas than the local side. It is more of the people in the diaspora and Jamaicans abroad. People will meet somebody and say they want to file for them, but they want to know if they are serious. You get many of those cases, he said. Jamaica is a very unique country with connections to a lot of people, and Jamaicans are all over the world. People call from Germany, Russia, United States, Canada, and many other places in the Caribbean. He added that people want to find out everything. What I find out is that people file for people, and when they go up, they find issues and run off, leave them. They just wanted a green card. Some of them get the green card and then file for their loved ones who are in Jamaica. They would ask, is Mary Bond serious? Does she have an affair? People want to know about them first. The I-360JA director reported that these types of cases are defining for local PIs. That is what started the great need for private investigators in Jamaica. It was a great need for people to have somewhere to go and investigate infidelity because the police don't do that. There is no national body that does that, so people started to use private investigators. Majority of the calls we get are for infidelity, and then second in line is people who have people's money and disappear, he said. People from overseas call and ask that, as well as locally. A lot of people call, married and unmarried people. Even the matey want to know if the man have anybody other than his wife, so it is not partial. He added that through investigations, many relationships comes out stronger than ever. I have done cases that actually helped marriages. One party may have been saying they are not doing anything wrong and won't talk about it, but when you investigate, get the information and present it in the proper way, they have no choice but to recant and have the conversation. Then you hear, that is why me unhappy, that is why me a cheat. Time and time again, I save marriages. People who really want to make their marriage work, it save them. They go through the pain of investigating it and exposing it to say, here is the evidence. I want to save our relationship, and they go through. It happens. A case on the top of my mind that I did is a prominent businessman and woman in Kingston, a powerful couple. The man said he wasn't doing anything, but the investigation proved otherwise. Valentine added, many of them suspicious partners are right, and many of them commend me for it. But for some, there is nothing going on and it's just suspicion. What people want is peace of mind and to know what is going on. When it's true, I always advise them to get a counselor whether they are married or not. However, he added that some requests are out of jealousy and insecurity and as such demand extra caution. I am mindful of how I deal with them. I have turned down a lot of clients because sometimes just talking to them, you hear jealousy in their voice. I am trained, and just by speaking with some of them, I know that they want is reprisal and getting back at their partner. So I put them aside and I don't do work for them. And you know where it's going to end up. We know that men are doing women some serious things now because of love affairs, so I vet my clients and remind them of the seriousness, he said. Everything I do it covertly. I am trained. I am a former detective sergeant. I spent all my years in the police force. I've never worked anywhere else in Jamaica than in the force. I retired early in 2012 and then formed my company, so I know how to deal with people in this job and I know when to pull away from a situation. Sometimes I do investigation on people who want to give me a job, and I find that most people are violent people. Further, the I-360JA director said overseas families also pay for investigation of mysterious deaths. There are sudden death cases. People come to Jamaica and die, and their family abroad want clarity and transparency. Even after the police and the court have done their job, some of them are still not satisfied, he said. I get a lot of calls also because of people who have people's money. People lend or give people money to do things, and time passes and they can't find them. And then they don't have enough evidence to make a complaint to the police, he said. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.